Hello, my name is Evan and welcome back to my channel of Vanishing Evan. Today I will be making a sequel to an earlier video that I did. It was actually the second one on my channel. The one where what was it? I showed you how to get like 3D models from games and stuff such as Call of Duty. I showed you where to find them, not how to get them and stuff. But I showed you a website on where to find them, how to texture them and so. And in that video, I told you guys that I would make a follow-up in which I showed you how to rig and animate these models. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So let's get right into this. Also, I'm going to be avoiding using the rendered view as much as I can because that really messes with my computer. So this is probably the view that we're going to stay in right here. But I have Kruger right here. I know in the last video I used Nikto, but Kruger, I already had him on my computer. I think I deleted the old Nikto model I used for that other tutorial. But this will work just as good. They're very similar, but you're going to be able to use the same tips and tricks that I show you on this guy on the Nikto if you do that. Or you can just go to that website that I showed you and download this Kruger. It's the one, I think it has the gas mask on and stuff, but that's optional. So let's get right into it, I guess. But first things first that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into Edit, and you're going to want to turn on an add-on called Rigify. If you already have it on, perfect. But if you don't, what you need to do, I think that it's in Blender by default. I could be mistaken. If not, just Google how to use Rigify, but you should just have to go to Preferences and go to Search and search Rigify. Rig, and then it's right there, Rigify, and you just click it on, Rigging Rigify, and then once that's on, you should be all set. And then it'll give you this option when you press Shift A to add something. You can go to Armature, and you'll see this thing called Human Meta Rig, and that's what you're going to be using. If you want to, you can use any rig for this. It's just this is really quick and easy, especially if you're not used to making rigs. There's one that's right there and ready for you to use. But what you need to do is press R to rotate, Z for Z-axis, and then 90 for 90 degrees. So you just type all that in on your keyboard, which is pretty easy. And then you're going to scale it up to match your guy. 1 second, I'm just going to look at it like this. Press S to scale. Actually, I'm going to do this so that I get an even more accurate scaling. Going to scale it up to about the right size. And then, whoop-de-doo, you got it sized right. And then we're not going to need the facial bones. So now, once we have the skeleton selected, we're going to press Tab. And now we can edit the skeleton and stuff to get rid of bones that we no longer need and reposition it to better fit our mesh. So first things first, we're going to get, first things first, we need to go up here to this, the top right corner, and we need to enable, well, you don't need to, but I like to enable this, which will make it so that whatever you do, it'll mirror on the x-axis. So if I like delete this ear, like this entire side of the face like that, it'll delete it on both sides. And if I move this arm, it'll move it on both sides. So it just cuts your work time in half and makes it symmetrical. But let's just get right into this. Getting rid of these face bones. Kruger don't got no face to animate. Don't forget this little one right here. And also, you're more than welcome to leave it in a model such as like Woods if he does have a face. But I don't know. I've never really worked with something like that. Then we're going to delete these little bones here. And I think those are all the ones that I like to delete. Feel free to do it however you want, really. This isn't the part that's really important. It's just, this is the setup portion of the video, you know what I mean? So like, you can use any skeleton you want. But now I'm just going to reposition this arm, like that. And right now I'm just going over here and clicking these to quickly switch between different views, and that helps me with my workflow quite a bit. But we just need to line this up with the body as best as we can. I might fast forward through this part. Maybe I'll probably keep in the part with the fingers. I don't know. You'll know when you're watching if I do end up cutting anything out or not, because you'll friggin' be watching me. But besides that point, just gonna do this. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm gonna try and work a little bit faster just for tutorial's sake. But you're gonna want to match the fingers up, obviously, you know. This might take some time, but I've done this plenty of times, so like, you know, look at me, I'm so fast. But yeah, you just need to mash it up like that. Look at it from different angles. You might have to reposition some stuff, you know. Match it up with the knuckles. Depends on what you're going to be doing with this, just how much time you want to spend on this. If you're just making a single still image, you don't really have to spend that much effort on like the fingers and stuff, which is why I'm probably just gonna real quick fast forward through this, and then I'll be right back. Okay, you get the basic workflow. Okay, so now I have completed the fingers, and they're all ready to go, I believe. Maybe a few little minor tweaks, but this should be more good enough for demonstration purposes. And as you can see, it mirrored on the other side because I have this activated, which is a huge time saver. Like, it's not even funny. I remember the first time I made my own rig and stuff, I was making it bone by bone, and I didn't even turn that on or whatever, and it was just, oh my, I spent so much time doing this. But hey, it was a learning experience, and now I can show others tips and tricks on how to do it better than I did the first time. But now we're just going to move down to the feet, grab on the y-axis, grab Y, GY, and just line that up. Doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, like, if you really want to, you can totally work on it more. Just going to line up the legs a little bit better, bring the kneecap to where the kneecap is. I'm unsure of whether the bone should be closer to the front or in the middle. I'm going to keep them in the middle from now. Maybe a little bit front leaning, but I don't know, that's something to look into in the future. I don't have a ton of experience working with characters in Blender. It's something that I've been working on a lot more recently that I plan on doing lots of projects with, which is really cool, you know. I got some stuff in the works. I got some storyboards. I don't know, that's way down the line, you know. Planning on doing some cool animation stuff. But you're just going to want to line this all up. Pretty easy. Oh, make sure you select it. Good. And then the legs are done. Wait, actually, look at it from the front view. Make sure everything makes sense, you know. You might want to do this. Give it a little bit more center. I think that's good for the legs. Maybe bring it down a little bit. I don't know. Like that. That might better fit our character. And the head bone should be alright. And right there, look at that. We got a full skeleton all rigged and stuff. And oh, one more thing. When I was doing this character, when I was setting it up, before you guys saw what I was doing, I deleted a lot of the extra stuff that he had, like his canteen in the side and his pack in the back. And we're gonna be taking care of these like buckle things in just a second, because that's a crucial part of these characters, because a lot of them have extra baggage that just get in the way. But I mean, like, you're more than welcome to try and work around it if you want, though. But now we're just gonna hit tab and enter object mode, and you can go to the skeleton, and also you'll notice that these meshes look kind of weird when you click on them, you know, like all the weird orange lines. Hint, hint, those aren't supposed to look like that. We're going to be fixing that in just a moment. But normally, right off the bat, we'd be able to just go to the skeleton by selecting that, and then shift clicking a part of the body, and then right clicking, yeah, I believe right clicking, then you go to parent, and then parent with automatic weights right there. But you're going to see an error when you do this. It's going to say some weird stuff. Did it do it? Did it work actually that time? That's really weird. 1 second. No way it worked. Don't you? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I did it wrong. 1 second. Oh my. I'm so dumb. What you have to do actually, I totally prepped for this video, and I totally did. But you need to select the mesh first, and then shift click the skeleton. Duh. Okay, and then you do a right click parent and then with automatic weights. Then you'll see the error loop. Okay, if you made the same mistake I did, you're gonna have to go to clear parent first. Da, 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 da. Make sure you have the mesh selected, and then you. Okay, I'm a professional. Okay, guys, give me a break. Just kidding. But you select the mesh, select the skeleton, and then parent with automatic weights. We're gonna see an error this time. I swear, guys. Right there. Bone heat weighting failed to find solution for one or more bones. And this is because this mesh is really messed up. And the way to fix that is, I figured this out. You gotta hit tab to go into edit mode. Make sure that you have everything selected. If you don't, just press A, nothing else, and it'll select everything there for you. You're gonna go to mesh and then clean up. If mesh isn't there, make sure that you're in edit mode and press tab to get in and out of that. But you're gonna go to cleanup and then merge by distance. And this, oh my god, it took me so long to figure this out. Like I was so confused, like why some models wouldn't work and some would. But you just gotta clean it up. So you're gonna click merge by distance, and boom, it's going to say removed 7,512 vertices. It'll be different on different parts. Typically, the bigger the thing is, the more vertices it'll get rid of. And also, only do this thing that I'm telling you to do, the whole mesh, delete, merge by distance. Only do that if you got the error, the little orange error that I just told you about. If it just doesn't do anything and it just looks like it worked, then it worked. Good job. But this is something that goes wrong with a lot of the Modern Warfare models that I figured that I could show you how to fix, because I had some requests in the comments that were like, having trouble rigging this thing, and that might be one of the issues that person was having. But now you just got to do that to every part of the body. One thing is, I don't know if you can do more than one at a time. I did it one at a time when I was doing it, but let me just try and select a bunch of stuff and then deselect the skeleton. 1 second. This could be a little bit tricky. Let me go to the skeleton. Oh my god, this is a mess. You know what? Maybe I'll just do it all one at a time. You can try and do it more than one at once, but I'm going to do it one at a time for every part of the body, because it's a surefire way for it to work. And I'm going to fast forward through that real quick. I'll do this jacket real quick, just in case you didn't get it. Basically, you see something that looks like this when you click on it? Well, let's look at this. The net mask thing that Kruger wears, when we click on it, you can see through it. It looks nice. But then when you click on the jacket, it's just a bunch of jagged triangles. That means it has not been fixed yet. Hit tab, go to mesh, clean up, merge by distance. And if it takes away too much, then you might want to change this. I currently have it at 0.0001 M. I don't know what the unit of measurement in Blender is, but this works for me at least. I recommend doing this after you texture your model. I don't know if it affects anything if you do this before texturing, but I imagine it might, since it messes with the geometry, But I have them all modeled, all what's it called? I'm blanking. All textured already, so I don't have to worry about that. But yep, just gonna bring this back down, and now when we press tab to get out of there, the jacket will look much cleaner. And we just need to do this for every part. I'm gonna do that real quick. Make sure you get everything that you want to be rigged to the animation. That includes, like, if I hide this, little bits like this right here that are hiding, Make sure you find all the nooks and crannies in your character, or you might have issues later on down the road. But I'm gonna fast forward, and I'll be right back in a second. Go. Okay, I have saved the last two things to demonstrate once more. I got the boots and I got a patch on the arm to do real quick, and that should be no problem. You go up to it, you press tab, go to mesh, clean up, and then merge by distance. And once again, remember, I'll demonstrate with this patch up here. Once you click on it, see it's all wonky looking, hit tab. If you accidentally click or something, if you go to mesh and then clean up and then merge by distance, it's not going to do anything. It's going to say removed 0 vertices. Make sure you press A to select everything in that mesh. And then mesh, mesh, clean up, merge by distance. And then tab to get out of it. And now if you go to all of my geometry, I'll press Alt H to get rid of the mask that I hid earlier. Quick little side tip, if you didn't know, you can just click on something, H to hide it, Alt H to unhide everything. It's pretty handy, you know, from time to time. But now just make sure you go through your model, make sure everything looks clean like we discussed before. You look at this, not seeing any really wonky, like terrible looking geometry. And yeah, this is almost ready. Well, it just is just about ready. You just need to select everything. I think that you can just select everything if you have everything all taken care of. Make sure you don't select the ground underneath your character. Oh my. Gotta get all these little things that I got here. I'm gonna even get the arm patch. Got the little necklace thing. Well, not necklace, but a little bandana thing in there, I think. If you accidentally do click off once you're doing this process, if you click off, just press Command Z and it'll reselect the things that you just had selected. And then when I'm doing this, I'm pressing Shift click to select more than one thing. Then we're just going to Shift click. Once you have all the bodies selected, make sure the last thing that you click is a skeleton. Even if you have it already selected, just Shift click. Make sure that the skeleton is yellow looking. And then you right click, parent, with automatic weights. And with luck, we will not see an error. There we go. And this is looking great. 1 second. See this? Also, it's going to look a little bit different in this view. Your model should not have suffered too much from the geometry loss. And if it did, that stinks. You might have to restart. But that's in this case, I know that it worked. It works perfectly. Kruger still looks like Kruger. A little bit less crisp looking, but you know, he works. You know, would you rather him look super crisp or work? Personally, I'd rather have something that works. But now you just go to the skeleton and you can go to pose mode. And 1 second, I personally like it better when I get back to object mode. I'm switching between X-ray mode with Alt Z. I don't know if it's called X-ray mode, but it's what it does. But now I will select the skeleton by finding a spot where the skeleton is showing through. And then I'll go into pose mode and then press Shift Z because I just like the way that this looks better. That's a personal choice. It doesn't matter. But now you will be able to pose. Oh, did I forget the hands? What is this sorcery? Let me double check the other side. Did I make a mistake? Impossible. Okay, let me just go into object mode. Make sure that this is working properly. You know, this will happen to you. You'll make little mistakes as you go. I'm gonna fix it real quick. We're gonna shift click the skeleton. Make sure you don't select the ground. If you do, just click it a couple times with a shift click, and then reselect the skeleton, and then parent. And this might be a loop in parents because it might already be parented or something. But let's do with automatic. Well, first I'll clear parent just in case, and then right click parent with automatic weights, and then it should work. I don't see why it would not. There we go. Now it's fixed. I just didn't select the hands properly. Okay, I am back. I have returned. I had to go deal with something, but now I'm back. And let's pick up right where we left off. And here we go. Our model is all rigged and ready to go. I noticed that there's a spot that I missed. I should have taken care of this earlier. These little floating things. Basically what you have to do is you have to select the mesh that they're attached to. Right now I'm in pose mode, so I can't do that. And press tab to edit and just delete those portions. So you do it like this. You click on this, you press tab, you shift Z, well, Alt Z, and then you'd like get rid of these, you know, delete them. But I'm not going to do that since I already have it all rigged and stuff. That'd be kind of I'm just doing this as a time saver because I'm not going to be using this extensively. Also, with that same part, all these little belts, like these little buckles and stuff, will get in the way because they aren't going to look super good once you start moving them around a lot. But like, with what we're going to be doing, it's not a huge issue, but like this entire belt thing, it requires a lot of cleanup that I should have done earlier. So, just little separated parts like that I would delete or separate by selecting them and doing, I think, like right clicking and doing a separate thingamajig, and then rigging them to the skeleton on their own. That might work better. But for now, I'm just going to leave this as is because it's not a huge deal. Not all models have that. But, if your model has little dangly little parts that go all over the place, I recommend separating or deleting them. But moving on, we're going to go back into the skeleton real quick and pose. So now that he's all rigged and stuff, you can select a bone, press R to rotate it, and you'll notice that there's some weird stuff going on right here, okay? You see, like, the belt, which it's just causing all sorts of problems with this Kruger guy, but I expected this. It's a weight painting issue that happens. So basically, what you have to do is you have to, because this will happen all over the place with those intricate parts, and what you got to do is you got to go into object mode. You gotta select the skeleton and then shift select the thing that's giving you an issue, and then you go to weight paint mode, and here you click on the bone that is influencing the part by shift clicking the bone. Maybe do it again, but then you'll see these weird parts that are like light blue. Well, you want everything to be dark blue, so oops, that is not what I want. So you're gonna go to weight and bring it all the way down to 0. And then you're going to color all this in. You can make the radius really big when you're just trying to minimize this stuff. I'm not trying to do any fine work or anything. Maybe if I use a gradient, it'll work better. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Okay, nice and blue. And basically, that's what we want to do for the whole thing. Just any parts that are following your arm or wherever that you don't want to follow, like how things are like floating upwards, you just go to that and you color that in. I'm not gonna do that because that takes a while. That's one of the if you have like a piece like this that goes all over the place, that's one of the things that you got to spend a lot of time on is weight painting. But it's not that hard of a process. You just go in, make everything blue that's getting in your way. And now that I've gotten that out of the way, I believe that I can go on to showing you how to actually make an animation with this thing. And I'll do that real quick. You have to go into pose mode, and there should be an animation tab over here by default. You're going to have to go into pose mode again, but you just click on the skeleton. Oh, actually, it's already in pose mode. I'm just going to have to press Shift Alt Z. And what you have to do to actually animate this bad boy is you click on a bone. I would select the entire thing if you want this to be its default starting position. Personally, actually, you know what? Let's move them around first. Let's get them into starting position. I like to use R to rotate. Excuse me. But I like to use R to rotate and stuff. So let's get them into a natural looking pose. Just pressing R, moving it around a little bit, making them look good. Bring down one of the shoulders a little bit. There we go. Maybe giving him a slight pivot to his hip. And there we go. And now we're just going to select all of his bones. Just press A. And then go down here. Make sure your cursor's down here. Or actually, I think it could be up here. But you press I in order to insert a keyframe. So I like to do location, rotation, and scale. But if you're not scaling things up, you can just do location, rotation. But bada bing, bada boom. Now, if you go down here to this bar down here, my face might be covering it up. But you should see a little thing that says 0. You drag that out. Like, I'll bring it over here in case you can't see it. And you just bring it up, let's say, to 20. And then you select the bones that you want to do for the next portion of the keyframe, and then you move them to where you want them to go. Bada bing, bada boom. And you can do it on a single thing basis. So like you go to the thing that you just moved and you press I to insert keyframe, location, rotation, scale. Do it for everything that you move, or you can move everything, then select everything and do it again like you did the first time. But basically, you just want to, do what you're doing for the animation. And bada bing. 1 second, let me just make something real quick that looks simple, and then I'll move up to 40, and then we're just gonna move it again. Bada bing, bada boom. Nah, that's too much. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. How about we just make it look like, I'm going crazy with this spine thing. Let's just make it look normal. There we go. And we'll have his arm go forward. If you guys can't tell, I'm not that skilled with like characters and stuff just yet, like animating them. It's something that I'm working on, you know, and I'm getting better as I go, but I'm still pretty new. But basically, you know, then we're gonna press A, since I didn't do it as I went that time. Press I, insert location, rotation, scale, and then now if we go back all the way to the beginning by either dragging our little blue thing right here, or just going down here and pressing this back arrow with a line, and then pressing play or spacebar, we can see he's moving. He's doing what we want. And then you can just move the camera around, set it up the way you want to render. I think that you guys know how to render. Actually, yeah, this isn't a video on how to render videos and stuff. I'll leave that to you guys to figure out. But that is, I believe, all the information I have on rigging these guys. Just remember not to make the mistake that I did this time. I should have taken care of this way earlier, like before I started putting the skeleton in, is getting rid of little bits like this and taking care of the little buckles and stuff. I neglected to do that. But this is how you rig those Call of Duty characters that I showed you. This will work with a lot of the Modern Warfare stuff. And the main thing in this video, the main takeaway, is to do that thing that I showed you with the merge by distance thing when you get that error, because that is the main issue that I had with a lot of these models. But yep, I think that's gonna do it. More videos coming very soon in the future. I'll put in a little animation that I made at the end here with this character or something. I'll render something for you guys. Or maybe it'll just be a still frame. I don't know. But yeah. Adios.